Welcome to this edition of Strong Perspective Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last show of 2022. We welcome you. I'm one of your guests, Keith Armstrong, here with my brother Jaquari Armstrong. David Armstrong will be joining us momentarily. But this is we officially have been doing this podcast for a year. And I feel like we accomplished something. And that's what it was that, basically we wanted to go set out to do something together, and we stayed together and made sure everything was running correctly. Look, we was piecemealing everything, and and was getting blessed when right on time when we would run into a roadblock. But here we are, the official first year in the books, in the can, as they say in the movie business. But Jaquari, how you doing today, brother?
I'm good, man. No complaints. It's been a good year. It's been a very good year, man. At a few points in time, man, it was rough. It was rough, but we worked our way through it, and I think we all became more comfortable with the presentation, and it really it didn't surprise me how much of an event I had to make it for myself in order to keep my juices flowing and everything. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's been
Okay.
it's been a wild ride, man. It really has.
Yeah, yeah. I think, like I said, I more or less wanted just to uh, use this to chill out with you and Damon and do what we usually do. We have conversation about
Mm-hmm.
any and everything, And then when we started, the two most important things that I feel really ignited our energy was going live on Facebook and on our YouTube channel
Mm-hmm.
every Friday at 7:30, and just understanding and bringing on other guests,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because the three of us, we could talk about interesting things all day long, but bringing on other guests to hear their view instead of talking at the screen, telling you how we feel. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? That's an easy job. Anybody can do that. But to actually interact with people and exercise our conversational muscles, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah,
You know.
I think us making strides to expand the dynamic, man. Really, really adds to the format on a whole. You know what I mean? It just speaks to what each of us bring to conversation. Period. The art of conversation.
Oh yeah. Um, well, let's begin with this. Do you have any guests that sticks out that you really and truly came away with a new way, not a new way, but an alternate way of looking at things just by having a conversation with them?
Julio, his interview affected me, man. KJ affected me. Uh, Bill, Bill's, our brother, man. It Stacy. I mean, we had some really deep, meaningful conversations, man. And my memory ain't long as a pistol click. So I mean, yeah.
I
Well, I
know.
mean, but for me, that's a part. That's a part of what I think is my whole development, man. I told you, I don't watch the shows. I don't watch it, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I do that because I want to kind of be. as fresh with my delivery as I possibly can.
I got
You know what I mean? I'm not looking to, build a character. This is spoke, and I think this is the most comfortable situation where I could develop that in, man.
you. And you know what's so funny about it is I'm right along with you. I haven't really watched all the episodes, to be honest with you. Not at all, because not because just from your point of view, the freshness of it. Because me, I think too much. So when we were doing the pre-recorded early on, I watched us, right? And I'm like, and my struggle was the beginnings. You know what I mean? Where either I was rattling on, this is pre-recorded to the audience, rattling on her, and we here to do this and that and da 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 da. And I'm like, man, why is that bothering me to hear myself say those things? And then I understood what it was. It was more or less me not feeling authentic because I'm trying to spoon feed the audience into my conversation, into
Mm,
my way of thinking. And that's not me. I don't want to change your mind.
mm,
What I want to do is to give you a reason to change it if I don't agree with you. But if you don't change it, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? But you
mm,
understand where I'm coming from as a human being, as maybe your friend, your confidant, your coworker. You'll understand where I'm coming from. It
mm.
won't be, it ain't no mystery, you know? And that right there in itself is always been key for me. That's why I always tell the truth about things. I always do that, you know. The funny thing about it is all of our female guests, Damon, what's going on?
What's going on, man?
Welcome.
Brother, what's going
Welcome
on,
to
man?
you.
Dude, hey, I had to go through 100 StreamYards, man.
I got you, man. But welcome
Dang,
to the
I
show.
got to
Well,
erase some of them joints, man.
what we're talking about right now is different guests, how different guests and different topics have affected us. You know what I mean? Where we came away with it. And I was about to say our female guests. I think when we had three,
I
we
think
had
so.
three, correct?
Mm,
I think it was a refreshing thing because I always want to hear the woman's point of view. You know
mm,
what I mean? Even though I am chauvinistic in my thinking in a small degree, so it is enlightening to hear what what folks have to say, the young ladies have to say. You know what I mean? Because this platform to me, guys, is not to pass judgment, not to pass judgment, not to you know make somebody feel small about their opinion. You know what I mean? But to encourage them to speak because they may not get the opportunity to talk. You know what I mean?
mm,
And that's it. All the young men, they're young to me. You know, Terrence Johnson, Lawrence Reed, two brothers, Angelo and Damon Williams. You know what I mean? Very enlightening. Um, our friend Kevin, no, our friend Eric, you know, KJ. KJ was a good one too. I agree with you, Quarry, where it was just learning about those people and what the
mm.
way that they saw life. Even though we might have been around them, but the way they saw life. Damon, do you have anybody that you can think of?
Uh, um, I was thinking about when you were talking about the women that we had on, man. I really appreciated that because, man, it seemed like it took us forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
To get some women to come on, you know what I'm saying, with their own different perspectives about things and stuff like that. Because, you know, you listen to a bunch of men talking. It's like women be watching them talking about, y'all don't even know what y'all talking about. You know, so it was good to have them on. You know, and the other names that you mentioned, you know, it's like I was telling y'all last night, man. It's to see people that you haven't seen for a long time, but it's like you always caught, you know, stayed in contact with each other. That was very important to me, man. You know,
Okay.
and they, you know, so
All right.
and
Yo, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I mean, really, everyone who came on, everybody who came on, I enjoyed them. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed the interaction and what we spoke about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
'Cause, look, let's think. No, you know what it's for? I forgot your coworkers, Jaquan. It's for women.
Oh,
What
I
is
thought
it?
you was I thought you was
Five,
included.
Uh, uh,
five, because I forgot about our psychologist, Dr. Majette. I forgot all about her. So we had a
Mm.
number. We matter of fact, we was on a roll if you think about it.
yeah, that's true.
You know, our last one was Danny Moore, which she was. I liked her openness. I really did. You know, I really did because it's you know she she was honest, but you also see the strength in what she was saying. And I like that. What for all of them though? To be honest with
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, and plus the young people too, man. You know, that was enlightening.
you. Yeah,
You know,
you know,
but
my,
I get that every day with my youngins. So
yeah.
you know, I wasn't completely in the dog.
You
Put
gotta
it that
think
way.
about it.
Yo, quick pledge for next year, fellas. One
What's
of us
that?
needs to start writing down the name of the guests.
Hmm?
I said, quick pledge for next year. For next year, one of us started. One of us need to start writing down the name of all the guests and shit.
So why you say that? You think I forgot? I mean, I ain't that old,
I
man.
for,
The gray might
I
be.
forgot.
Oh, I gotta send you the list.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah,
Yeah,
shit.
man.
We had how many shows did we do this in this season? How many shows did we do?
Oh, let's see. From December of last year, we went every Friday. From January.
Hmm.
And we went live every Friday. So that's
It's a
four
lot of people.
4 months. Yeah, there's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people, man.
Yeah. Cause see, there's a lot of content. There's a lot of information. Cause see,
Mm.
all right. Let me put it like this, because I'm getting ready to get into some more interesting stuff. But let me just put this in out there. My goal, if I had a goal when bringing guests on, is to give those guests the opportunity to open up enough. They don't have to tell it. They didn't have to tell us the world, but open up enough so their family and friends can see a side of them that they don't show them every day. And I thought the three of us was able to actually draw that out of people just through our questions. You know what I mean? Not trying to get too confident in it, but I always felt like if we engage in a conversation, we're able to bring it out of people. You know, so let's do this. Since we don't have anybody on here, and most of the time I tell people when I describe it, I say to them it's a conversational show and all of this. Well, this last bit of the show, let's throw some controversy on here. just for GP. I got a couple subjects I want y'all to speak on, and this to give us exactly what you think about it. The first, the first is looking at the Kanye West situation. What is your whole opinion about that? We'll start with you, Danny.
It was an interesting topic, man. I mean, it was interesting. Did I see it as controversy? Not really, man, because the content that he was describing, talking about, we as older people, we already knew this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? It was surprising how other people reacted to it. You know what I'm saying? Some of the things he was saying, I was like, yeah, okay. All right, some of it was new information, you know, but I was more impressed by his boldness to be able to speak up like he did and whatever it cost him, you know. But as far as that whole situation, I didn't get caught up on you know, the oh, this is very controversial and he's stepping forward and he's doing all these things. I was looking, for me it was pretty much, okay, people starting to catch up now. And that makes the older people, man, who knew all these things before, it made them hopeful. Well, it made me hopeful. You know what I'm saying? Because of the awareness, they're bringing awareness to people. The young folk who didn't know.
I like your optimistic view, man. But keep going.
I mean, you have to be optimistic. You get as old as us, man, you have to be optimistic, bro.
That's real.
You know what
That's
I'm saying? You have to be, bro, because it's like some things just don't make sense. And then you go away not just like, man, I don't understand this. You know what I'm saying? Am I that way outdated? Not outdated, but are we that far from what's really happening in real time, man? Because people are not speaking on it.
Gotcha.
Well, so that's pretty much what I took from him.
Okay. Jaquari.
I seen Kanye in a situation as a man who come to a certain point in his life, and he had played the game the way that society said that a person needed to play the game to to become successful. But he got to a certain level, and he see that he couldn't go any farther. He needed too many outside hands to realize what he felt what his dream was. So he started to pull back so he could try to figure out a way to accomplish these things on his own. But that's not allowed. You can't do that. So what do you do when you're in it? What do you do when you're in a situation and you're at the end of your rope? You blow the whole shit up. And that's what he did. That's exactly what he did. I mean, if he hadn't did what he did, I mean, you hear all the stuff, all the foul shit about Balenciaga now. If he hadn't, if Kanye hadn't did what he did, we wouldn't. We probably still would be in the dark with that. I'm the give and take of it. Whether his behavior is self-serving or not, it exposed a lot of shit. Exposed a lot of bad shit. I mean, do I feel bad because a billionaire is losing millions of dollars? I'm sorry, but I can't find I can't find it in myself to feel bad for him. I mean, because he put up a fight. I question his tactics, but he definitely put up a fight to save what I think he believed he built. This ain't the end of Kanye West. It's not. He's
No,
he's
I don't think so. You
he,
know why? Because sorry to cut you off. We are so entrenched on our celebrities trailblazing when our celebrities are really just artists who just. But go ahead and finish, Warren.
Yeah, that was the gist of it, man. I mean, it's has anything that's transpired over the last 2 months made him uncomfortable financially and physically? Nah, it hasn't. I think he's built up. He's amassed enough wealth to where he can sit back for a little while and try to figure his comeback. Because I have no doubt he's going to try to come back.
That's true. Um, my gist of it is, and this is I'm hot and cold. I see the good and bad in this. First of all, he got on there. He's in the middle of a manic episode. I know that because I dealt with manic situations my whole life, right? Where you make sense at one instance, then the next thing you know, you're talking about crickets drinking red pop. You know what I'm saying? So I considered that and understanding that there's some information that he was putting out there. But really and truly, the conclusion I made was yes, as long as he got his way, as long as he got his way, he's a quiet man. But when he didn't get his way, whatever it was, because we really don't know what triggered him, right? But we witnessed a tantrum. And the reason why he even leaked any information that he had about whoever he had was because he was that kid having a tantrum, and Jaquari, either you or Fluke said, and he decided to blow it up because he's having a tantrum. But he didn't care. And this is the little information I had about him because I don't know the man, I don't follow him. But he didn't care. He just blurted it out. You know what I'm saying? And that's the combination of the imbalance of chemicals that's going in the head, and also him having a tantrum, and also speaking the truth. But unfortunately, when you do the first two that I named, cloud any truth that comes out, leaves room for speculation. I have always said this: our celebrities cannot be our community leaders. Our community leaders cannot become celebrities or get on a celebrity status because no work will be done. It gives you room to make a choice. Either I like them or I don't like them. So to me, the whole thing that's coming out is, oh, you know what? He made sense to me, but he's an asshole for saying that. With the Jewish community, bro. To me, the Holocaust, start talking the Holocaust and all that, you know, they remind us of that all the time because they're supposed to. We don't do it enough. You understand what I'm saying to you? We don't do it enough. But they do it because they don't want it to happen again. And I say they, them, this is just speaking in general. They don't want it to happen. They don't want it to happen again. You see what I'm saying? So, but we don't do it enough. We really don't. And that's my take. The man is getting pulled in three directions: tantrum, chemical imbalance, and wanting to expose. Feel me? And that right there is a mixture of confusion. Is what it is. Nothing more, nothing less. It's a mixture of confusion.
Is he? Is it chemical imbalance? Or is the brother is eccentric?
Eccentric. No, I think he's been diagnosed, man. He said he's been diagnosed.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, he did. He did. That's the only reason I'm speaking on it like this. I heard him in an interview say that this is what he's going through. See what I'm saying? Look, one thing about it, what I try to do is have enough information where I can base it on an opinion when I say it out loud. Now, between the three of us, we by ourselves, I'm gonna say some stuff. You know what I'm saying? But if I say it on this platform, I have enough where I've heard this man say this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, anything else before we move on?
I
That,
think, man. I think for me, the Kyrie Irving situation was it resonated with me more than the whole Kanye thing. You know what I'm saying? For the reasons why it did is because of how they tried to vilify him and how they tried to change expectations because of who he was, and I'm speaking in terms of being a black man. You know what I'm saying? They came up with this whole laundry list
they
for
gave him a
him.
rope. They look, you
You
give
know
them
what
a
I'm saying?
rope, they want to be cowboys. That's what they wanted to be cowboys.
But
Go ahead.
but here, the reason why that resonated with me more, man, is because people were vilifying him because of something they probably didn't watch themselves. You know what I'm saying? They probably didn't, go into the content to try to understand the reasons why he did it. You know, but for me, for me, the thing that bothered me mostly is they took money out of this man's pocket for a retweet, because of what they're assuming that he was trying to imply. But man, you can go all across the internet and everywhere else, and you see the N word, and is up in arms about that. You know what I'm saying? You can see how isn't that the same thing that's saying, hey man, I'm not gonna go in the inner cities because African Americans commit too much violence, right? Isn't that saying the same thing, man? Isn't that implying something also? But yet still, you see it on the news. You see people talking about it on these cable news shows and stuff like that, specifically talking about the African American community. You know, but this dude retweeted the fact that African Americans are the true Hebrews. There's nothing. What's derogatory about that? What's inflammatory about that? Nothing. They're just saying, hey, there's a possibility that it might create anti-Semitism and stuff. But
But
on the news, all you hear about is black on black violence and all that stuff. Isn't that's derogatory, isn't it? That's implying that you understand where I'm coming from.
I mean, but here's the thing: to answer that right there, you're absolutely correct. But first and foremost, it's going to be black on black violence. It's going to be Asian on Asian violence. It's going to be white on white environment. You know why? Because they live in the same neighborhood. But guess what? To your point, that's what's been portrayed to us as the crime problem. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's
You
being
know,
conveyed to the world. That's the problem.
yeah, but man, you know what? Let's do some house cleaning and then we'll get back to it. Let me acknowledge Benita, sister-in-law. Glad you
Yeah.
watching. Uh, Marcus, Happy New Year to you, brother. Malika, you're absolutely right. Malika said, untreated mental illness. He said he's not taking meds. He doesn't believe he needs them or therapy. You know what I mean? But it's obvious that he does. Then Marcus said, Malcolm X said that some of things about celebrities be in positions, saying the same thing about celebrities being in positions as our leaders, which is, and see, here's the thing. I love celebrities because celebrities give us inspiration because of the great things that they do in a game or in a movie or in a song or something. It inspires us, right? But what we end up doing when it comes to celebrities is we equate them to their their character into that great feat that they did. You feel me? Like these actors who are great chameleons, right? And you can relate to this, Nicole, who are great chameleons. And Denzel Washington played Malcolm X, and he played it to a T, right? In our eyes. So all of a sudden, we think Denzel has a Malcolm X personality, right? I'm not saying he does and he don't, but Denzel can be like, yo, man, that's just a job. He could say that. You know what I mean? And it's like, look at entertainment for what it is. It's entertainment, man. That's all it is. To be entertained. Celebrities are great entertainers.
Well,
That's my opinion about it.
let me push back on that. What about Ozzy Davidson? I'm
You
saying
mean what about him?
he was a straight up activist, man. He
I
was
get that. Harry
he,
Belafonte. There's
right.
other no what I'm saying to you, I picked Denzel, and Denzel is a great he gives back too now in reality, but I chose him as one of those kind of things where, you know, we see him great because of the roles that he but we don't know the person. That was my only example. You know what I mean? Because look, I'm not going to tear you down. If people believe in you and you able to help a movement, there's more power to you, bro. You know what I mean? The
Hmm.
Kyrie situation, in my opinion, Kyrie, the powers that be had easier access to Kyrie because Kyrie depended on the Brooklyn Nets paycheck, the Nike paycheck. You see what I'm saying? What Kanye did was position himself into his name makes money no matter what he does. So if he was to put up a YouTube channel and he just be on that motherfucker doing this bleep 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 bleep, he's gonna get millions of views, right? And that's going that and especially if it's monetized, he's going to get money. You know what I'm saying? But
Can you
Kyrie,
imagine?
go ahead.
Can you imagine how freeing that is, though? And I'm not saying anything, positive about his behavior or anything, but can you imagine how freeing it is, man, for a person to get to the point where they don't give a shit about having their worst times recorded? Because just as you said, Keith, anytime his name is mentioned, he's gonna make money. That free that'll
That's
take
free.
away all your inhibitions, man.
It's free.
That'll push you to that what's next level.
It really is.
And as far as Kyrie Irving goes, man, I mean, I don't really know too much about that, man, because quite frankly, man, like that particular documentary, hell, I'm afraid to have it in my search history. I don't want no smoke from nobody. But
Listen, I work.
that's what this world has come to. Yeah, I got to work
Yeah.
Monday, but that's what this world has come to, man.
You're right.
I mean, we used to be able to freely pursue information, no matter who deem that information to be derogatory or not. But we used to be freely able to freaking pursue it and take what we wanted and leave what we wanted. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me ask you both a question. You're both readers. If you had the opportunity to read Mein Kampf by Hitler, would you read it?
I would.
I would too,
Why not?
because
Why not?
and the reason why I would read
And I
it is because you have to know.
before you answer, Keith, I hope to God I ain't just blew us up. But it's just a simple question.
And look, first of all, I understand the context of why you ask it, because first of all, we have to read everyone's as our community, especially when that actual author has a stake in pulling our community down, right? You need to understand that author. You need to understand
You need
how he or she speaks. You need to hear them to be
you got
able
to
to
understand his
formulate
mindset.
in order to formulate the plan to destroy them or neutralize them. And, neutralizing is better because that means that the whole is paying attention to it and they're like, yo, you know what? He right. I'm not fucking with him. You know what I'm saying? Um, Damon, you have anything to say about?
Here's my thing, man. The one thing when they start talking about this politically correct stuff and this cancel culture stuff and all this stuff, that is a direct assault towards, uh, 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 for example, man, you got black people who survive in this country all these years, man, with able to wear two hats, knowing how to understand. I mean, how to understand who and where their enemy are. You know what I'm saying? If you cut out the use of the N word, you know what I'm saying? That takes away an element of who you know and understand your enemy is. See what I'm saying?
Good point.
Because if they use that word, you know exactly where they're coming from and whether or not to do business with them, whatever. You understand. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You can draw a straight line to the person who's willing to cause you harm. You know what I'm saying? Who's willing to do something to you? Who's willing to leave you in poverty? You know what I'm saying? All these different things. It's easy to see that. You know,
May I provide you some pushback, brother?
absolutely.
Now, if we as a black community became comfortable with people using the N word, and as a result, we stopped fucking with those people, wouldn't that make our lives a lot easier?
You talking about within our own community,
No, it's always gonna be prevalent
or
within
you
our
talking about
community.
outside of our community? If they,
Outside of our community, if they choose to use the N word, then that kind of like gives us it puts a label, like a de facto label on that person, right? I mean, is that cancel culture?
knows understanding, man. It's coming to an understanding of okay, I see how you really feel. Like Sister Girl said, you know, speaking on your character. You know what I'm saying? Speaking on your character and what it is that you're willing to. Okay, this is how I really feel. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
so answer me this: why is Mel Gibson still working? Why is he still working with black actors? Why is he still successful in the black community as far as entertainment goes? Why does he still exist? If
Well,
Why does he still exist? He still exists, man, because you got people who are willing to put that stuff to the side for the sake of the bag, man.
in which
You know what I'm saying?
look, let me just say this real quick. Corey, you and Damon, because we had this discussion last week. No, the week before last with Ancobia, right, Damon?
Mm-hmm.
You guys think it's along the same line. You want to neutralize the word. I don't like the word at all. You know what I'm saying? And I understand
I,
why.
no, I don't want to know. I don't wait, I don't want to neutralize it. I want it to. I want to bring some value to it.
I can't. But okay, explain that then. How
It
do you
has no.
bring value to that?
It has no. I mean, is it ever going to go away? Is it ever going to
No,
go away? No.
no.
So in the meantime, if it's not going to go away, let's do things in our community to put labels on the people outside of our community who use it and not fuck with them.
Now I'm understanding what you're saying.
Okay,
I
and that
agree.
makes sense. But bro, you saying go business as usual then? You know what I'm saying? Because I know. Okay, I
It's
think
not business as usual because I just gave you Mel Gibson.
no. Hold on now.
That's not business as
That's the
usual.
move. That's the movie industry. And if those black
How,
folks had control, if they had control over that
Keith,
situation,
Keith, why is the movie industry the number one biggest entertainment venue in the world? Because people want to live their fantasies, bro.
yeah.
That every 60-year-old 5'5", 145-pound white man on the face of the earth wants to be Mel Gibson at some point in his life.
Okay.
They want to be freaking Clint Eastwood and have the same freedom of movement and speech that these men have. Life imitates art.
Okay. So, but
People
but
might say that art imitates life, but that's ass backwards, bro.
but here's the thing. You and I, we're not talking about the same thing because I understand your point completely. I don't disagree with you. You see what I'm saying? I don't disagree with you. I was just, I was commenting on the conversation we had with Ancobio McDowell, in which I don't want to misquote you guys, damn it, but I'm not, I told them that I say the N word because they said, well, why you keep saying the N word instead of saying the word? Because I understood what the word was and I don't do it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And I understood them and I understood where they were coming from when it came to them. You know what I mean? But is this they make movies with people like Mel Gibson because exactly where you threw that avatar out there, the avatar you just described. You know what I'm saying? The 6 year old who want to be. That's why they still mess with Mel Gibson. But guess what? He didn't work for a very long time.
He
Remember,
did.
he was superstar status until he started talking about the Jewish community.
Then he started talking about the Jews.
Yeah, he didn't work. You know what I'm
Do you
saying?
have do you have any inclination to think that the period in which he didn't work hurt him in any way?
I mean,
Do you
at the
believe that?
time he was one of the biggest bosses. He was getting $20 million a film,
And plus the
but that
password
cut
of
it out.
Christ, what did he make $1 billion off of that joint?
He did, even though
Did,
like Braveheart, he made he did so many liberties with it that people was pissed off about it. You know what I'm saying?
here was the thing, man. When we did that particular podcast, here was the point I was saying. I mean, I asked you why do you keep saying N word instead of using the word? You know what I'm saying? And my point is that I'm old enough to, man, the word was on TV and all that stuff and so on and so forth. It was there. So for me, the word don't govern my life, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't take away the shock value of using that word, man, because somebody my age who should be teaching young people, when I hear that word, I'm like, oh, okay, I see where you stand now. Be it a black man or a white man, I see where you stand.
I got you.
Don't you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to take away the shock value of the word, man. I want it to be what it is. Now, if I'm in a dialogue or discussion with somebody and the word comes up and all this and stuff like that, I'll address it right there. And when I move on with my life, it don't affect me anymore. It don't affect me anymore. I'm not gonna sit around talking about, okay, now the next time this subject matter comes up and that word is used, no, I'm gonna be. This is what I'm used to. You know what I'm saying? You use that word, being a black man. You know, I have a choice to be shocked by it and say, hey man, or are you just having just speaking language, whatever? If I'm offended, I'm gonna say, hey dude, I'm offended by that, man. Don't use that word with me. If I use that word and somebody's offended by it, I say, excuse me, my apologies. It's simple as that. If a white person use that word, I'm gonna be like, okay, now I gotta decide whether or not I'm gonna crack this dude's head. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where it lies. But I'm not gonna sit up and pretend like the word don't exist, number one, and number two, I'm not gonna use it as a term of endearment. I'm not. It is what it is. The definition doesn't change, man. That was the only point I was making. You know, and it affects people's lives.
My point is, man, if that word is always going to make us as black people make a choice, then I just want us to make the most positive choice that's not going to hurt us in the future.
I get it. I think
it's always going to make us make a choice, no matter who it comes from.
I think it is just a word, right? And my feeling of the significance, the seriousness of the word, I ain't want to try to work. I ain't even want to do that shit. But the seriousness of the word, right?
I was gonna say the word for you, but I was gonna mess it up too.
Significance.
Right. That word. Yeah. What do you say?
Significance of the word, right?
Oh man.
All three college graduates.
Yeah. How about it? I think that people have the right to react to it any kind of way that they feel they need to react to. I think that my problem was with this, back in the 90s when they would have a funeral for the word and all of this, and I'm like,
oh my God, man.
Oh
yeah.
And it's no shade on those people because they're trying to move up and trying to find a way, trying to find a pathway, right? But
they made a choice, took a stand.
They took a stand, and we're gonna take back the word. And then the younger generation, that word don't mean nothing to me. So them and their white friends, they call each other that. You know what I'm saying? To try to neutralize it, which makes sense. So there's no disagree with every angle, right? Except for buffoons like Charles Barkley. When that whole N-word came out and his explanation, we was in the defender's locker room, and me and my white buddies, we said it all the time. We said that all the time. I was so...
He said that?
Yes, he did.
Damn.
That's why I don't watch the news, man, because I don't want Charles Barkley was a hero of mine, man, so I don't even watch him.
But see, this when I said earlier, celebrities. I love the way Charles Barkley played. To be 6'5" and dominant like that.
Charles Barkley was a NBA athlete, man. He played a sport, dog.
That was it.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
He played a sport. He played a sport, and he got paid for it.
He said it eloquently. I'm not a role model.
And that's
I believed it.
That's the first thing I heard that man say that I totally agreed with.
I believed him.
Because it's like, okay, you could be my basketball role model, but human role model? No, sir. No, sir. And that's why people was up in arms when he said it. Because, hey, man, you supposed to be this NBA star. I am, sir. So you're supposed to be setting an example. I do on the court.
Yeah.
But look, this is not to really just throw dirt on his name, but he got a bad gambling habit. You know what I'm saying? And let me put it like this: he's human. He's human.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Let me change this up a little bit, man.
But this is just to add a little bit on to that.
All right, and real quick, man, because there's a couple of things I want us to get at.
What the one thing about you say he's human, and you're absolutely right about that. But see, he has to realize that he needs to check. When Malika had said something earlier, Sis said something earlier about uh, characters not being checked and all that stuff. I don't know who his circle is or whatever, but dude, you are not to be speaking on the whole of the black race. You're not. That's you know what I'm saying. You haven't you haven't did anything. Well, I don't know his personal life, but come on, dog. Who are you to even speak on that, man, and represent it? When everything that comes out your damn mouth is against somebody that looks like you, man. Come on, dog. And you representative
all
of it.
all
Perfect
spoke to
example.
the
Go ahead, Jaquan.
all spoke to the same will, man. All spoke to
Like,
the same will.
look, I'm gonna tell you what's so crazy about it is it makes no difference. I saw something the other day. I'm not saying whether or not Bill is guilty or not. Bill Cosby, guilty or not. I stopped being a fan of Bill when he went on that tour and was tearing people down, black people down in the community and all that. And he was actually going to speaking engagements, right? But I saw something the other day when they said that Bill, most people can't ignore the things that he's accused of or the things that he might have done, right? But Bill, when it came to giving to HBCUs, no, okay, he did. He gave to Temple University too. He gave a lot. Him and his wife gave a lot of money to those that to help those kids get through, right? But you got to think about, is that an equal exchange? If he did what they accuse him of doing,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
Remind me to tell your brother something that in response to what Keith was saying. I ain't gonna say it online. I'm gonna say it offline. Might be
All right, all
the
right. Well,
say what I
let's
was
move to
thinking.
this. Let's move to this. Deion Sanders, right? Two questions. Do you think he was a sellout? And what do you think his impact was? And before you answer, let me do some house cleaning. This is Perspective Podcast. We invite you to go to our YouTube channel to like, share, and subscribe to the channel because we want to reach a certain amount. We want to reach a certain amount of 1,000 subscribers in the first stage so we can reach other people. So just take the time, the 5 minutes to go tell your friends, whoever, go to our YouTube channel and just subscribe to it. We have a lot of great content. We have a lot of great guests. We promote conversation amongst each other in our community. We promote conversation. Conversation is not dead. It is being overshadowed by sensationalism of everything else. All right. Now, you guys remember the question?
Yeah, read it one more time.
Question is Deion Sanders. Two-part question. Do you think Deion is a sellout for taking the job at Cotto? And what do you think Deion's impact was on the HBCU community? We'll start
I
with
don't
you,
I
Flip.
don't
No, go ahead, Jaquan. Go ahead.
I don't think he's a sellout in any way. I think he's a man who pursued a job, got the job, seen something better, and he moved on. Now from the onset, he he talked about the deficiencies that was there and how his presence was going to help to elevate the resources there. And from all accounts of what I've heard or read or whatever, the school has benefited. So he accomplished that, and he, like I said, he found a better job and he moved on. I don't hold that against him. The media, the media took what was one of the aspects of his hiring and blew it up and made it a race thing. I mean, did he make it a race thing? Yeah, he probably did. But the scale it took, was something that I think that HBCs might benefit from. Well, HBCUs, excuse me. But I don't think he sold out.
Okay. Damon?
For me, man, it's kind of out of respect for our community, the people that's challenging him and stuff like that. Out of respect, I'll say this: I understand where they're coming from and the reasons what reasons that they personally might be able to speak out in this way about him or whatever. But for me, it's an absolutely ridiculous statement, man. Who the hell ain't gonna step up when they have the opportunity? Man? Who not? Especially when you move into a place where you have more resources to help more. Is it about the school? Hell, he went. What did he lose? About what? 5 games in the 3 years he was there.
I think it's about 5.
Okay, then. So his obligation for that school is met, bruh. It's met. What's important to Dion is the fact that he could bring some young brothers in and teach them integrity. Because y'all got to remember, man, he a man of God. He a Christian. You feel what I'm saying? And what he said, God called me to do this. Come on, man, put it together. This is what he believed. I'm gonna bring young black brothers in here, and we're gonna teach them how to respect each other, how to play the game right, how to move forward as black men, so on and so forth. So he doing what he said he was gonna do, bro. He did what he had to do for Jackson State. You understand what I'm saying? They had winning records, man. The last 3 years he was there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then you got Ed Reed going to Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So his influence is still resonating, man. Because he moved to Colorado and they want to give him a bag to take care of some young brothers. Why not?
Colorado is in a position to tie him to the community.
Yeah.
Jackson State didn't tie him to the community, and that was a mistake.
I think, and my thing is this: there has always been, like, the thing about it is, before Ed Reed, Eddie George was at Tennessee State.
He was there before Prime was at Jackson State.
I know that. I know that. That's the point I'm trying to make. And then what's the coach that coached at Cleveland?
I know you're talking about.
He's at Grambling.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: Deion's media presence, social media presence, turned the spotlight on Jackson State because he was there. There's been black men going down to the HBCU on this HBCU level to better improve the situation. Doug Williams went to Grambling and coached at Grambling for years before he left. You understand what I'm saying, T? I don't want people to make the mistake in thinking that Deion was the first guy to do this. Because he wasn't. He wasn't. Hugh Jackson. Right, Marcus.
Hugh Jackson, right. But he was the first to land a #1 nationwide prospect to come to that.
And then here's that thing.
You know what I'm saying? That's what he did. That was groundbreaking.
Travis Hunter is a great receiver. right? But his favorite position is corner. So why not go to the university with the greatest corner at coach? So once you get all the information, you understand why Travis went and why he's going to Colorado. You know what I'm saying? Now let me just say this to you. I believe people get caught up into Deion has a great presence on speaking. He preaches to people. And I think he could be a pastor, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? And he drew the social media crowd in. You know what I mean? Because his podcast is the reason why he was able to get all those sponsorships. Y'all know that, right? Because he was on one of the biggest podcast networks there was, right? And his celebrity had who it was, Under Armour? Is it Under Armour's uniform? Where they had a different uniform every home game. You know, and see the thing about it, this last thing I'm gonna say. Deion, in every single interview, when somebody brought up, if a Power 5 come, would you leave? Deion said, I will entertain. That's enough for me. You know what I'm saying? To you guys, if somebody say, hey man, would you leave me if such and such come, right? Bro, I would entertain it. Is that the same as saying, no man, I ain't gonna never leave you? It's two different things, right? Because he left the possibility. And he also said that he has always wanted to coach a Power 5 program before he went to Jackson State, while he was at Jackson State. I mean, and last quick thing, my problem is this. These people calling him a sellout, if they're not the parents of the kids who's there or Jackson State alumni, you need to shut the hell up if you are not contributing to a HBCU.
The one thing that stood out with me, man, my last point, the one thing that stood out with me in Prime, man, he said, man, I don't believe he went to Colorado for the bag, man. I think he went to Colorado for the resources. You see what I'm saying? That's what I believe. Because like you said, Keith, he can make money outside of football because of the star power, because of the name. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't responsible for nobody else but himself. But if you can get to the point where you can be at this university, because you got to remember, man, they won national titles too.
Yeah.
You know, so I think he went, man, for the now. See, this was those naysayers and those detractors, man, that's making these comments about him. The one thing that they're not recognizing is his bravery, man, and his bravery means this. Dude, he got to show and prove now. You feel what I'm saying? He got to go against the Nick Sabans. He got to go against the Kirby Smarts. He got to go against the other Power 5, the other power schools that's getting national titles. He got to go against them now. Now, I don't expect nothing from that brother for another 5 years, man. I expect him to compete, but in terms of winning national titles, he got another 5 years, bro. Because he can get all the skilled players he wants. Skilled players are generally black. What, 90% of them? But if you want to beef up that front line, the block, he gotta go in the Midwest, bro. He got to recruit them Huskies and them Badgers and them Wolverines. He got to do it, man. So my point is, he has to be universal in his recruitment. It can't just be all skilled black players. He has to get some cats in there that's gonna block, that's gonna do those things. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
How many McCaffreys is there, man, that play for San Francisco? How many of those are out there? He's an anomaly, man. So you have to be able to jump back and forth and convince all levels. You know what I'm saying? If he can make a pipeline to the NFL, then that's a leg up for him. You know what I mean?
Okay. Switch up a little bit. First, we'll do this. This is a question I'm going to ask.
Sister girl getting a little heated. I hear you, baby.
Question I'm going to ask you is this. Let me acknowledge this, though. My brother, Damon, our brother Jaquari, is North Carolina Central grad.
Eagles fly high.
And they are the HBU National Championship. And who did they beat? Jackson State. Just had to acknowledge you, Jaquari.
Yeah.
All right.
Congratulations, boys. Congratulations. I wish I knew some of them.
All right. Well, let's just focus on this, and then we're gonna close this thing up. What question we always ask people, majority of our episodes, if you can give some information to the younger and older generation, we'll switch it up that way. What would you pass on, especially if they got your ear? What would you pass on to them? We'll start with you, Jaquari.
I would pass on to both generations. I mean, just one general message, just to, as far as conversation goes, just be open to, listening and be entertained by it. Be entertained by, the exchange of ideas, not necessarily the trying to, as you said earlier, keep trying to convince somebody to hop on my side. I could care less. I mean, one of the most freeing things that we have as human beings in this country or on any where on the face of the earth is a choice of options. It's a choice. It's a choice to kind of take somebody else's opinion and mix it into yours a little bit and come up with something new. There's the opportunity to strengthen our resolve on certain subjects. So that's what I would convey, man. Just like the lotto, man. You can't win if you don't play. Just play right. That's where the game comes from. That's it.
Damon?
I think, man, where I'm at with it is this. If I was to say anything to both communities, I mean, both age groups, it'll be this, man. I'm not about preaching, you know what I'm saying? I'm not without my my own personal issues. If you feel I'm worth listening to, see where you see me fall and stumble and how I pick myself back up, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you feel like I'm worth listening to, then by all means do so. You know what I'm saying? But don't listen to me if you hear me running game and on some bullshit. Because that's what the world does, man. And everybody think they clever. You know what I'm saying? You can't out clever yourself, man, when the world see you fall on your damn face, dog. You can't. You got to be able to say, damn, okay. To the people that love you, what happened? And if you brave enough to let them in, you be honest and say, man, I was smart of myself and I got jammed up. How many brothers in prison can say that? Feel me? But then when you come out of prison, are those same people who ask you that question, damn dude, how you get jammed up like that? Are they gonna be there and say, hey man, I heard what you said and I see that you're a better man and how can I support you with that? You know what I'm saying? That's an honest exchange between human beings, between people. You know, if I'm trying to hustle and sell you something, talking clever and smart, we ain't gonna get nowhere with that bullshit, man. It's the same old thing. And you know what blows my mind is when the younger generation come up with a clever phrase and they think they think they done said something clever. And it's like somebody like me who done seen damn near everything. I'm like, oh man, are we gonna have this conversation, bro? Or are we gonna kick it as men and respect each other? You know what I'm saying? If not, let's just talk about sports, man. You give your opinion, I give mine. We gonna keep it moving. You know, but the struggle is real, man. And you can't speak on the damn struggle unless you've been through it your damn self, man. If you ain't been through it, then it don't apply to you. And when somebody asks you, then you say, I don't know shit about that. I can't speak on it because I never been through it, man. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I ain't the one that can help you in that problem. But if somebody come and they just saw you fall and then they see you pick yourself up and they come to you, you be like, then you give them the straight game, man. You give them the straight dope on that shit. You don't talk about no clever shit because you want to sound or look clever. How you gonna sound and look clever and people done saw you fall on your face, man? Hey, where the hell they do that at? You know, I'm speaking more to our community, man. We have to be honest with ourselves. How do you question a brother who's moving into a position where he can have more resources, man? And you gonna call him a sellout? Tell me where the hell how did that even come into the same conversation, man? You feel what I'm saying? It don't. I can reach more people in this position than I can in that position. No, man. You gotta stick this out. You gotta toil and struggle. I ain't going to this to toil and struggle, man. I went into this to have resources, bro. So if there's message in what I just saying, then you will get it. If you don't get it, then keep on living. This same conversation is gonna come back to you and say, damn, that dude said that shit. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I'm gonna keep it simple. Everybody on here can actually understand what I'm saying to you. Don't make every damn conversation a pissing contest.
Oh,
because if you don't have a conversation with people for a mutual exchange, for a purpose, then you're wasting everybody's time, because a lot of times people just want to be heard more than understood.
More than anything.
Like my goal has always been, when I sit down and I talk to people, whether I accomplish it or not, what I try to do is understand where they're coming from. Whether I agree with them or not, understand, because once I understand you, I want you to understand me. It ain't no winning and losing this shit, man. But it's always a debate instead of a conversation. And that's pretty much how I feel about it. Of course, I can go in depth what it is, and we will go into depth about what I'm talking about and what you guys are talking about, because it's a good subject to approach, because it's about community. And, it's about community cooperation to take a to take a direct approach to some kind of salvation. You know, um, so these last couple minutes, because we're going to cut this short. 'Cause this is holiday season. Everybody, what I want is talk about what you want to achieve through this podcast.
For
Let's
me,
start.
man,
Yeah. We'll start with you, Danny.
for me, man, I think I've already achieved it, man. I think I'm already going through the experience. You know what I'm saying? And both of my brothers can attest for this, man. I wanted to be controversial, man. You know, I wanted to talk about the issues and give our opinion, and then throw out some devil's advocate type stuff, or whatever, because that's how my mind thinks, man. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to do that, but my brothers kept saying, "Hey, man, pump your brakes, man. Let's just spend some time together." They didn't let it happen organically. You know what I'm saying? Now I get it. I understand that organic aspect of it, because from that you can find and formulate some type of foundation, man. You know what I'm saying? And build an identity from it. And it's real. You know what I'm saying? Or like I probably say, opinions are like assholes. We could all throw out opinions all day, but if we talking about something with something that's meaningful for us, that means something, then we can bring in, we can personalize it a little bit more, and when we personalize it, it means something. So you're not gonna throw out no bad representation of yourself, because you're being honest. Be it right or wrong, you're being honest. And if you're being honest, then you can find a pathway to correct yourself, man. To right you, not out of animus or envy or none of that bullshit, but your true self, who you are. You know, and I think this platform allows me to stay grounded in that mindset and that thinking. You know, because I can research and find some shit to argue about all day. But if I'm not talking about relationships and understanding and camaraderie, man, with my brothers, speaking on general things, then you know what I'm saying. My point is, it was needed for me. Put it that way. And I get it, and I learned from that. And moving forward, hopefully, I can continue to have that mindset, if that makes sense.
Jaquar.
My my pursuit's going to be geared towards more of you know, what's next for me, man. I mean, this, what's my reason to feel like I need to grow in this particular medium on this particular platform. I mean, it's all for me. At the beginning of the show, we talked about how many shows we were in. We've done a lot of shows. We talked to a lot of people. You know, expand it. I want to expand that, man, and I want to become more engaging. I want to become more entertaining. Within the confines of conversation. While still trying to maintain the whole of me. This is a spot you get on a Strong Perspective podcast, but it's not necessarily the spot you're gonna get when we face to face. And it's not a bad thing, because I'm not. I ain't never been standoffish. I ain't never been cocky. I ain't never been bigger than whatever particular situation I happen to be in at the time. But this is me polishing the facet of my diamond, man, and that's what I want to do.
Okay. But to answer the question, to continue on this quest, you know, my expectation to both of you is you gaining more and more confidence in your own platform. You know, Fluke, you talk about the controversial. I think you would do very well in that. You know what I mean? I think all three of us can do very well in it. And that's the thing about it is the creation of three different shows, and us being three different guests on the show. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? But to make it, to pursue what we feel is in this social media realm of ours. I mean, look, I achieved everything that I wanted after the first episode. I wanted to do this thing with my brothers. I get to see them twice a week, and I talk to them throughout the week. That's some good shit for me. I'm good. I am good. You know what I'm saying? You know, because most people who know us, they understand that we're a close knit group, and this is all fun. Then when we added the element of people being interviewed by us, made it even more satisfaction and more fun. You know, because we everybody was everywhere across the country. We interviewed people from everywhere, right? And I'm looking forward to more of that. But also, and I know my brothers agree with this, we love to laugh. We love to have a good time. Even though we have strong opinions, we love to debate. We love to dissect this foolishness we see out in our world, too. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And I think that's going to be a great thing. So, Damon, we're going to give you we're going to give you 2 minutes because you done spoke your mind all day. I'm going to let y'all go because we're in the middle of a damn holiday. You know what I'm saying? And then, we'll just close on up. So go ahead.
Well, like I've been speaking about it, man. You know what I'm saying, in the past couple of podcasts or whatever. I'm still on that road of, you know, humility, you know what I'm saying, staying humble within myself and giving the world that honesty. So they won't be confused, man. They see me struggling with and overcoming that and being humble with it, then they understand that they're getting the real me. You know what I'm saying, who I truly am. And in that, hopefully I'll be an example. Only God decides who He bring in my life, man. You know what I'm saying? But I put forward what I have and who I'm trying to be, which is the best me. You know, and it ain't easy, man, because I got an opinion about a lot of shit. But then I'm reminded, dude, you know, what I got to do with what you need to work on within yourself. Not, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm not trying to convey no, hey, everybody should do that type of message or any of that. I'm just being honest with myself and what it is that I'm trying to say. I'm not coming up with no clever shit. None of that. I'm just reminding our audience that I'm still on that same road, that same track. You know, and I keep asking God to show me, give me a sign or whatever. And the response is, no, you keep on staying humble, bro. Well, I'll let you know. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at, man. That's all I really got to say.
Last words, Shakur?
Looking forward to what's next, man. Looking forward
2023
to
like
this
a
next.
motherfucker. Look, my last words is this. The three of us, we Armstrong. And that means a lot to all three of us. And the bottom line is when we come down, we present ourselves to you, we do it humbly, purposely being humble. Because our energy is a strong energy, period. And sometimes it can be overwhelming to people, so people shy away from it. So hopefully you pay attention to these podcasts and understand what we're about and what we're trying to convey. It's conversation with everyday people, talking about everything that's going around, everything, everyday tasks. But we motherfucking Armstrong. It may not mean shit to you, but it means a whole lot of shit to us. That's real. All right, well, look, this is the last show of 2022. Like a motherfucker, we officially done this for a year, guys. I
Ain't that something?
appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. The hard work, keeping them personalities, keeping them on 10. That's what I'm fucking talking about. And we doing, man. And bigger and better things is about to happen for, this situation with us. Happy New Year. I want to thank Malika, Alicia, Benita, Marcus. We appreciate y'all. Y'all have a happy New Year. And this is Strong Perspective Podcast. Go to our channel. Tell your people to go to our channel. Yeah, I'm asking you to do that. Go tell your people to take 5 minutes, go on YouTube, to go to Strong Perspective Podcast, and like and share and subscribe. Especially subscribe to our channel. Let's make it happen, people. All right, we getting out of here. Any last words, fellas?
Happy New Year's, people. Be
Peace.
safe.
Be safe out there.